Hi, I wanted to talk to you today about coherence because it's really at the heart of everything that I do when I work with clients. I work with clients one on one to assist in transformation, to assist in reprogramming subconscious beliefs, to release trauma. And all of this is done through a variety of different modalities. And one of my favorites now, which is sound healing and using frequency and sound in order to transform any area of life. And so, as I've been doing sound healings for quite some time now, I believe that coherence is really, at the center of healing. And it's really to create a state where every part of your being is in sync and it's operating from a place of harmony. And when this happens, the body comes into this regulation. And from that regulated place, we can remember to choose differently. Because when we're dysregulated and when we're running from our unconscious and we're running, from a place that's a pattern, then we can't remember actually to choose differently. So when we can get more in sync and we can get more into harmony, and we can have that coherence, then we actually remember to choose that steady resilience, right? And to choose to be steady and to choose to have resilience, even when life brings us stressful moments. So what does happen? We fall out of tune. And because here's what we know: when we live chronically in a state of stress, the body is always responding. And stress doesn't stay in the mind, right? It moves actually through the body, and it shows up as fatigue. It shows up as muscle tension, chest tightness, restlessness, headaches, a weakened immune system. And over time, if we let these things go, then, this is where all the chronic conditions that we have that come in, like high blood pressure, depression, anxiety, IBS, just you name it, any chronic condition. So in other words, we fall out of tune and the physical body begins to give us these signals, right, that something is out of whack. So, but when we return and practice being in a coherent state, so if we can, as much as we can in a daily practice being coherent, then the body begins to heal itself. And the body and the nervous system will heal in its own priority of importance. So, of course, we may think what we want, what to clear up in terms of symptoms. But in actual fact, there is this higher intelligence happening in the body, and it will prioritize, especially the nervous system will prioritize what are the tasks that it needs to do to heal the body. And what we need to do is give it the conditions, right, that allow it to do this and allow it to do what it already knows. So another important part is actually working with coherent emotions. So equally important is learning to feel what coherence is, right? And to work with these coherent emotions. And I would say what some of them are: gratitude, love, appreciation, and compassion, right? I mean, those are the ones that come to mind that are the best. And these aren't just pleasant feelings. They are coherent chemicals that the body releases. And the body can work with its own inner pharmacy of chemicals, which if you follow any of the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, he always talks about this inner pharmacy, which I love. And so we've got this inner pharmacy of chemicals that we don't realize that can be released, and then which is measured in changes, let's say like in cortisol or like in IgA. And IgA is this antibody that's crucial for immune defense. It neutralizes pathogens and prevents infections. And what, let's say, Dr. Joe's team has been able to measure is that when people are in a higher state of love and compassion and gratitude for longer periods of time, they did this experiment like for 15 minutes, I believe, over I don't know how many weeks, like 4 days a week, then their cortisol improved and their IgA actually went up. So when we create more coherent signals in our body, our immune system changes and we shift out of our like stress chemistry. So the chemistry that and we have this chemistry then that reduces stress hormones and supports immune function. This is what can happen when we create more coherent signals. And so this is the gift of sound healing, and to be bathed in coherent sound that helps your body remember actually how to be. You know, when you go to a sound bath or you listen to certain frequencies and sounds, which I've been recording myself, it helps, first of all, your body relax. And then it starts to slow down your brain waves so that you're not in that high beta brainwave state, which we tend to be in all day. And you can move into a slower state like alpha and then maybe theta. So you're relaxed, your brain waves are changing, and then your nervous system starts to move into that parasympathetic state. So all of this starts to orchestrate within your body and your field, your biofield, the field around you, to become more coherent. And then the aim is to become, in that more often than not, a stable vibration rather than a chaotic one. And ultimately, the more we can be in peace and in neutrality and in presence, then the body is free to restore itself to vibrant health, right? So we just have to think about where we put our attention and our focus on a daily basis. And the more that we can carve out time to practice peace, neutrality, love, compassion, focusing on, the things that we desire, focusing on the things that we want to manifest, then the body it frees up energy because you release more of the stagnant negative emotions, and then it has this free energy to actually heal and to create. So how does this actually all work? Well, it works through resonance and entrainment, words that you may have heard about. And so every part of us, every part of you vibrates. Your cells vibrate, your organs, your heart's rhythm, and the subtle energy field that surrounds your body, that's sometimes called the biofield or aura, as I mentioned. So everything is vibrating. And so when two vibrations meet, so let's say a tuning fork gets played by your body, the stronger, steadier one, so the pure tone of that tuning fork, naturally begins to draw the other, so let's say the vibration of your body, your organs, right, into rhythm with it. So it's the same way that the pendulum clocks all on the same wall gradually begin to swing in unison. And this is called entrainment. And when you're immersed in the stable, coherent frequencies of, let's say, crystal bowls, gongs, or tuning forks, your body doesn't have to actually try to relax. It just simply begins to match what it's hearing. It matches the frequency that's coming into its environment, that's coming into the area of it, right? And so this harmony invites more harmony. So that's a little bit of background, I guess, into coherence and what the body is doing with sound frequencies, and if you go to a sound bath or if you have a sound treatment, these are some of the things that I do. But I wanted to leave you today with 3 simple ways that you can choose coherence today. And really these 3 things are about taking a few minutes to connect inwardly. So first one is to really extend your exhales. So aim for 10 breaths, inhales and exhales, and see about always making the exhale longer than the inhale, right? And that longer exhale really invites that coherence to come into your body. The second thing is to check in with yourself and see how you're feeling. This is something that I think most people go through a whole day and they never really check in at any point of the day, like, how am I feeling? There's a question to ask. How am I feeling in this moment? And close your eyes and connect inwardly. And is there anything right now that feels disturbed is there anything right now that my body is asking for? And it could be, you need some water, you need a walk, you need connection. But it's about taking that time to stop and to listen, what you're needing. And the third way that I'll suggest is to place your hand on your heart and actually to hum, make a gentle tone or even sigh. And so that vibration, that's the ultimate vibration you can give yourself, is your own voice, your own sounds. This actually soothes your system. It soothes your nervous system. It soothes your vagus nerve, which is a great calming channel of your body. And this will also turn off your mind, right, for those brief moments and allow you to come back to center and see this really as self-tuning. So again, longer exhales than inhales. Aim for 10 all the time. Check in with yourself. How am I feeling in this moment? And add some sound to your breath. And so I hope that this helps you today to understand a little bit more about coherence in the body and to have some practices that you can do daily. And I also just wanted to mention that in the month of June, I had a live gathering called the Heart Coherence Circle, where we spent time together in guided frequency healings, heart and brain coherence, essentially meditations that I recorded, and they were pretty much between 20 to 30 minutes long. And they're actually available now to purchase. So there's 7 recorded sessions for you. And in these 7 sessions, like I said, they're a minimum of 20 minutes. You can use them at any time, use them morning or night. And you would use this practice. There's also frequency included in there. So from crystal bowls and from singing bowls. And you can add this to your meditation practice to come back to your heart, to come back to brain and heart coherence, and to set intention for, whatever healing you are asking for, whether in your physical life, emotional, or mental. So I will put the link below, and if it's something that you're interested in, you can purchase that. And right now it's on sale. It's really 7 meditations for the price of 1. So I hope that you can take advantage of that if that suits you. Thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you in the next one.